I should say also that it comes at a time when we are very busy, very critical period in the delivery of health services here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. It is the period of pandemic, volcanic eruptions, climate change. It is also the time when we are focusing on NCDs and the re-emergence of diseases. And I might add that it is a time when we are doubling down, Madam Speaker, on the reformation and indeed revolution of the health sector here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, because we are indeed expanding and modernizing the health sector. Madam Speaker, the bill, as we were told earlier, has come out of a select committee which had the input of a wide cross-section of stakeholders, including officials of the National Laboratory System, representation from all of the private sector laboratories, medical association, pharmaceutical association, medical professionals in their own right, the medical board, and so on. Of course, we had the select committee of Parliament also at that particular meeting. So there was wide representation examining this model bill, drafted at the level of the OECS, and also perused by our own legal experts at the Attorney General's office. At the end of the deliberations and consultations, there was consensus on the final product which we have before Parliament today. We have seen the role played, Madam Speaker, honourable members, by these labs during the COVID-19 pandemic. The lab was central to our fight in this war. If we didn't have the lab, and if it wasn't upgraded at the time, to the point where we were able to not send samples overseas, then the COVID-19 fight would have been lost, I venture to say. In all our public health challenges, the labs continue to be critical. We have seen how they handled Zika, chikungunya, HIV, COVID-19, and there will be more. We have been told by experts that we will see the re-emergence of diseases that we thought were dead. We will see new diseases coming on hand. As we continue to battle these new and emerging diseases, lab information will continue to be critical, not only for the diseases, but for the NCDs, those diseases, but the NCDs as well, cancer, cardiovascular, diabetes. We know that a lab result is only as accurate as the quality of the lab system that provided it. This is important. We never had any laws before to deal with these issues at that level. We should not have to be worried or uncertain about our test results or even about the laboratory itself. But if they remain unregulated, unmonitored, we will never be sure. Someone needs to go to the lab and feels comfortable that the results they're going to get are the correct results and that the medical officer is able to give them a diagnosis and treatment that is correct. That's how important this thing is. Madam Speaker, during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, many new pop-up labs and suppliers of testing kits surfaced. It was opportunistic. There was a demand, and therefore they just jumped right in to fill that demand. Many of them were not in the business of selling supplies or even doing laboratory tests, but they became involved. The Ministry of Health found it a challenge to curtail these activities by individuals and entities. The activities threatened to derail the credibility of our testing protocols. But of course, we were able to get on top of that in short order. It became evident that urgent action, Madam Speaker, was needed to regulate these services nationally. That Part 6 of the bill provides for general matters, provides for establishment of the Medical Laboratories Appeal Tribunal, because this is absolutely important, that we're not just going to, we don't just want people to go around and inspect and tell you that you have to close down because you have A, B, C, or D without giving you a chance to appeal and to come forward with whatever solutions you have. So there is an appeal tribunal set out in this bill. Clause 46 requires the operator and staff of a medical laboratory to maintain the confidentiality of all reports and records relating to a person and results of a test except for the purpose of disclosure to a medical practitioner. Madam Speaker, in clause 54, I think we were able to add this one at the first committee meeting. 54, transition. Persons operating before the act is passed may continue to do so for a period of 9 months without a license. In other words, we're not going to say, okay, we have an act now, we don't have a license, so shut down. We're going to give you 9 months to do so. And in that time, we expect it to come up to par. And the council will continue to monitor. So, Madam Speaker, this bill potentially is a game changer as we try to deliver quality care here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines.